I'm Jason, this is my wife Melinda. I just recently retired from the Navy after 20 years, and we are both from Pennsylvania. The VIN number is a 2002 Ford F250 diesel, so it has a 7.3 liter in it. However, it now has a 2006 front end, a 2010 dash, and there's not too many stock parts left on it anymore. What we get the most attention from is the roof rack. The roof rack itself, it isn't a standard rack that you can buy from any place you bolt it on, and because of the structure underneath it, like the cab or cap, they'll have a few 100-pound limit. This one is integrated completely from the top all the way down into the frame. Everything's been custom designed and built by us. I do the welding, she does the painting. So that draws the most attention. So it has fold down ladders, both sides. It has, I don't even know the capacity of what you could put in it. I accidentally laid the truck on its side one time trying to do something I shouldn't have done. Nothing happened to the rack. It broke a mirror. We were able to roll it back over and drive away. Some of the things that we had to do to make this more capable for off-road and exploring was create a home for the winch up front. It has a 25,000 pound rated Sherpa winch in a move bumper. And then we modified that to fit our winch and to fit our vehicle from what they had. And it came out pretty good, saved us some money. So we have that, and I know I can lift the whole truck up if I need to with that rating. A common issue on this this vehicle around 2002 and on, was you get a lot of rubbing and stuff up in here. And so what we did was we modified the axle to slide it forward 3/4 of an inch. And then also because of the weight of the diesel and all the other gear that we have on it, it was hard to turn. So I added a PSC hydraulic ram assist to the system, which made it much easier, much more road friendly and like driver friendly to get, to go down the road. We have Hellwig sway bars front and rear, so that we can deal with the top heavy weight and stuff that we added up there with that roof rack. But the roof rack itself, is kind of one of the biggest things that we did, and that's like version 3 that we have on it. Wanted to be able to put all our stuff in there. We actually wanted to be able to sleep up there when we built it. Then we didn't. We never have. But we can if we want to. Wanted to make it where it was a driving experience, like anything that we need while going down the road is here. So as a driver, the driver sits here, the driver can monitor what's going on in the vehicle with the gauges as far as exhaust temperature, fuel pressure, boost, that's all right here. House battery as well, I can monitor that, which sits in the back. I can see what I need to do there. And then I can come flip switches, plug in whatever we have to charge. My wife sits in the passenger seat. She can monitor where we're at via Gaia GPS or her cell phone or our paper maps, depending on where we're at and what we're doing. So it's a team effort all the way across as we're driving. When we started out, we used to keep our recovery gear and tools in a box in the back. Then you have to get out, then you open it up, then you're throwing your clothes on the ground to try and get in somewhere. So what we did, we modified that when we did a rear seat delete. We have recovery gear, snatch blocks, so chain, snatch blocks, D-rings, that's all right in here because they're heavy. These are wrenches, sockets and stuff in the tool bag. And then this bag here sits here when we're all the time. That has my all the other tools, pliers, straps, everything else that you could possibly need, and the remote and stuff for the winch. And that sits here. So if anything happens, all I have to do is get out, open this door, I have everything I need. Underneath here is our storage for stuff for long term, extra dog food, extra food stores, stuff of that sort. And then down behind that is an Everspatcher diesel heater. So we are set up where we can handle the cold, just not the heat that much. This is our vent for our Everspatcher onboard diesel heater. It comes out right here and it shoots in the back. If you notice, if you look close, we removed the windows, front to rear, they go into the back, and we added this webbing here just to kind of keep our pillows and blankets back. And again, that was all done in the mindset of our dog. Dog's here. We had a golden retriever that we built this around, and she slept here, and then when she wanted to, she would crawl back. And this way there wasn't any windows that had to open or close, and this is her old collar. So we had that. And the other thing, by doing a rear seat delete, we decided to look at, can we reuse anything that's here? So we modified the seat belts to be just loops. So on this side, okay, a couple dog things. On the other side, I has all my soft shackles and everything in it, so they're easily reachable for when I stop. And then we have our computer stuff and basically the kitchen junk drawer that we tuck in here. So when we're out traveling for long periods of time, this will be full of other atlases and stuff in here, depending on what states we're going to. Attic storage here for coats, raincoats, hats, extra blankets that we tuck up there and cinch that up. That works pretty good to keep it out from flopping around and stuff as we're driving down the road, because we will take this off pretty severely off-road on Jeep trails and whatnot, even though it's about a 12,000 pound vehicle. As we come back through the vehicle, we have additional fuel storage here with the Rotopacks diesel tanks, 2 gallons a pop. It doesn't go really far, but sometimes you just need that little bit more to get out to where you have to go. There's a 42 gallon tank that was on it. I modified that from stock 28 gallon to the 42. And then as you come back through the vehicle, tucked in the old spare tire compartment is dual Viair air compressors and a 6 gallon tank. And then on each side of the vehicle, I have air chucks, and then also in the bumper. If you look at the tire area, you can kind of see these massive airbags that are tucked back in there. They're way bigger than what's needed, so I don't need to run them at as high a pressure. But the reason that I went with that size bag is it has an internal bump stop, plus it has about 14 inches of travel. So I don't have to worry about it ripping or popping off. I have the limiting straps to prevent that, but I can get almost that full 14 inches of travel out of my rear suspension. We use the Dometic CFX 75 dual zone fridge. We pull it out. A lot of people will put it on the slide. We pull it out so that we can kind of set up our area back here. This is where we make our dinner and our breakfast, the coffee, whatever it may be. So having this off to the side actually works out better. Plus, having to lift it in and out all the time, it gives me a little bit of a workout, so that's not too bad. Right now, we just have a closed bag, but this area here is what takes the cooler, the Dometic, everything fits in here, and it fits in snug when we pack up. And this is kind of a miscellaneous drawer, if you will. We have a long storage over here for fire pokers, sticks to cook hot dogs, stuff of that sort. We keep puppy treats in here, or vitamins. And then something that is kind of neat that we did just for fun is we created a slotted wine storage area. So we put them in a neoprene sack to make sure nothing happens to them, but there we go. We take wine on the road with us, and we make sure it doesn't bounce around when we're off-roading by having it in its own little cubby right there. So this unit is set up on rollers, so it can come all the way out. It has its own legs, some food, cooking utensils, coffee pot, cast iron griddle, all that stuff stays back in this area. This one, and this has the extra hinge on it so you can open and close it while it's under here. There's everything else we have for organization. Collapsible bin for washing dishes. We have our grilling utensils, forks, knives, spoons, spices, beer glasses, all that extra little stuff that you need and to cook, eat, whatever it may be, is all right here, somewhat organized and easy to take care of. What we just have MSR set of pots, and then we have a propane burner. I like my coffee faster, so that's why we had the 5-pound tank on the back. I hook this guy up in the morning, boil some water fast, and we're drinking coffee. Up here is where we sleep, and a lot of people will ask us, like, okay, don't you feel claustrophobic because you're up in here? And my wife and I have been out camping and backpacking, and so going from a 4-season 2-person tent to this is huge for us. This is very comfortable. I'm not a small man. I can climb up in here no problem, and I sleep well. So it might not be for everybody, but it works well for us. And by keeping this higher, that's allowed us then to put the fridge, to put the coolers and everything in here, because if this was knocked down a little lower, we wouldn't be able to fit those pieces in here, and then we'd have to stack them and remove them every time they go to sleep. This vehicle is designed where the bed is made up all the time, so that if we're going down the road and we have to hit a rest area because we have to make it across the country for a move or to go visit somebody, we can drive and just pull in and go right to sleep. We don't have to set up anything, we can just sleep. A person can also sleep while another person's driving. That option isn't in every person's vehicle, so we give up some comforts to have the flexibility. Another part that's kind of neat that we added later is I put a bunch of outlets on the bumper, not realizing how much I wanted them when I first built the truck. So now I keep a 110 outlet here that comes off the inverter, powers our lights, and powers a few other things that we're gonna do while we're in camp. This is an outlet for the fridge. I can pull it out of the back, plug it in here, it's good to go. And I keep a 12-volt outlet on that side as well, because we actually use that for a heated dog blanket in the winter to make sure she stays warm. All right, then the swing out spare tire rack is all designed, built, and integrated into the bumper to take all that energy from the rack down to the frame through the bumper, and then this mounts on it as well. And so it has this running 37-inch tires, so there's a 37-inch 1250 mud tire. And what I did was I have a 2-inch receiver hitch in the middle of this. And so this unit, you can pop this pin, you pop another pin in there, and the strap that holds it on it peels right off for access to the tire. And it's not too heavy then to manage, as you know, I can easily do it, and my wife can even pick it up. So that's all good to go. We keep extra dry stores up here, like your breads, paper towels, stuff of that sort that won't fit in the kitchen. Then we have a trash bag here. Both of these bags are made by Overland Gear Guy. I wanted something a little smaller because we don't really generate a lot of trash when we're out. So we have one side trash, and then on this side, what we do is we keep some like our shoes and stuff like that in there if we're not use them at the time, but also dirty laundry. We needed a spot to put dirty laundry, and that became our spot. It keeps it organized, keeps it out of the clothes bag, keeps it out of the inside from smelling, and we put that out here. Then we have your ARB awning. That's the 2.5 meter, about 8 feet setup that they have, and we have the screen room slash, you know, you can pull the sides down and it's a full-on room that's out there. We use it in the winter to stay warm, and then we use it in buggy areas to kind of keep them off of us. And so we're set up kind of for this instance in more of a full sprawl. We'll usually only set up one or the other. From where we're at, we'll either use that awning setup or we'll use this room setup. But for here, just to kind of show what it's capable of, we set everything up.